is to sit on a chair with your feet forward and bring one foot underneath the chair so the toenails are on the ground, and you can get a quad stretch this way, and then you can kind of turn it into a back bend and get a hip flexor opener here. And then the last way, which I find kind of good but kind of deep, is you come down on your knees and you place your toes of your right foot on the seat of the chair. The left foot comes into lunge, and you feel a really good quad stretch here. So this would be for people who can't feel one of the other ways, because it's more on your knee. You might need to put like a roll up your mat underneath your knee, but the rectangle still faces forward. To come out of it, you take those toes and turn them in toward the other foot. So you don't come out toward the outside of the chair, you come to the inside of the chair, and that's how you come out of that. So there's a couple different ways. So figure out one way, try that. If you want something deeper, you can go into one of the other versions. Everybody's body is really different, so it's hard to say how it's going to feel. And Mary, if you don't have a belt to use on your foot, use a towel. Go grab a towel or use your pants, hug your pants. But I like to use a towel. If you are using a belt, put it over your shoulder so you're not stressing out you're not doing some funky thing with your arm. If you put it over your shoulder, you can use that leverage. So find a way that works. Yeah, Claire, now make sure that the rectangle of the torso is facing forward, and everybody, wherever you're at, that bent knee, you got to have an inner groin to inner knee lengthening. So the groin lengthens on that bent knee side. Yeah. How's that feel, Claire?
Good.
Good. Breathe in, breathe out. Good. Okay, good. And then whenever you've had enough, and Julie, you just take your toes to the, inside of the chair, not the outside of the chair. I think you did that. Okay, good. So find what works for you and then slowly make your way to the other side. And Rosemary, even when you're there, if you want to come into King Dancer, which is more of a back bend, the foot presses into the hand into the foot. So you get a length, pubic bone, the collarbone, maybe even walk your hand up a wall, and you'll feel how that opens the shoulder, but that's pretty deep. So if you're doing that, notice if you have the flexibility to do that, but I would hold on to a wall because it helps me do that. Okay, everybody go to the other side. Yeah, and Julie's just taking a nice forward fold in between going to the side. So again, another opportunity to see that if your body needs something, take a minute to do that. It might be a forward fold, it might be a twist, but that's a really important thing to do. Okay, breathe in, breathe out. Yeah, and Claire, that looks like it feels good.
It does. It's getting a good stretch across my very tight top of the ankle.
Yep.
Which I need. So
yeah,
tight.
I find that one's really helpful for that. And then, yeah, that just feels really, really good. Nice job. Good. And breathe in, breathe out. Take your time playing. Try whatever variation you're curious about. And then if you're on the chair, we'll meet in a forward fold. If you're standing, we can also meet in a forward fold, but give yourself space between your upper thighs and your belly. So even if I'm here and I hip hinge in a standing position, my inner knees track over my second and third toe. As I come down, just like in child's pose, my ribs are kind of touching my thighs. My inner knees are tracking toward my second and third toe and my armpits. My arms are free. I am shaking my head yes and no, but I definitely feel weight on my heels, weight on my toes. Now, that gives a little bit of space for my belly and my lumbar spine or my sacral area to open up, but it also kind of frees up my lumbar spine. So be where you need to be in your forward fold and feel that hip hinge. Feel how you're getting openness here. Good. Breathe in, breathe out. Nice. Now, wherever you're at, slowly roll up Roll up in the chair. Don't be quick. Use your breath to roll up. So we're going to sit in the chair and we're going to have our knees pointing toward the right. So I'm sitting here with my knees facing forward. My ankles are tracking underneath my knees. I really can feel my feet here. Now, as I turn toward the back of the chair, I'm now twisting from left to right. So this left hand is pulling, the right hand is pushing. So I feel broadness in that space between at the base of my shoulder blades, but pay attention to that right hip. My right hip is going back. I have to do the best that I can, keep that right hip bone facing the wall in front of me so that I'm twisting once again from the base of the shoulder blades. Now, most of us have to hug those left ribs away from the back of the chair, the seat, the chair back, and see if keep the elbows wide. Notice if that gives you some space in the collarbones. Yep. And then slowly unwind, face forward on the chair. Do another repositioning exercise. As you face forward on the chair, my knees are tracking from my hips. I'm going to take an inhale. My hands are at the sides of my legs. As I exhale, I'm going to feel my heels grounded. As I exhale all the way down, here's my belly resting between the upper thighs. Here's my ribs resting on top of my thighs. Here's my lower back opening. Here's my sitting bones grounded. Breathe 3 times to that space between the shoulder blades. Make sure there's no tension in the neck. Are you scrubbing outer heels to inner heels? Can you feel that left heel grounding down and back? Breathe in, breathe out. On your next exhalation, feel your heels grounded and slowly roll up 1 vertebra at a time. Head coming onto the spine last. Good. Take a breath. Feel your heels grounded. Exhale, melt down toward the floor. Once again, we're going to do it again. Feel the hip hinge. Breathe between your shoulder blades. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Drop your head clear. I just want to know if it feels, yeah. Does that feel a little bit better?
I felt like I was doing too much rounding forward.
Yeah, well, this one, it's different. On your next exhalation, slowly roll all the way up. I would say as a rule of thumb, go with that. Okay, good. Okay, we're gonna do, I do a little bit of warrior. Yeah. Okay, so as I'm here, I'm gonna take this left foot at a diagonal. As you can't see my feet. So the left foot's gonna be at a slight diagonal. It's gonna be warrior 2 in the chair. So left foot's at a slight diagonal. My knee's over my ankle, but my foot is kind of at that diagonal. This right foot is going at a diagonal out to the side, but my sitting bones are grounded. Does everybody feel how you're getting space here? I'm not in my widest version of the pose. I mean, you could do this out to the side more, but I feel like my knees compromise when I do that. I really have to bring that left foot kind of forward at a diagonal so my knees tracking over my second and third toe. And as I take this back foot and I scrub outer heel to inner heel, do you feel that lengthening on this right inner groin as you press that foot down and back? So do you see how my ears, shoulders, and hips are in the same alignment? I'm not forward, I'm not back, but I'm even on my sitting bones. Does that make sense? I have space here. Now, I'm going to bring my arms out into warrior 2. So they're not way back here. They're slightly at a diagonal from my shoulder. So if I turn my palms up and feel as though I'm holding weights in those hands, that feels different on my triceps. Turn the palms down against that action. Keep the width in the back body and just turn the head over the left middle finger. So there's your warrior two. Breathe in, breathe out. Keep the weight even on the sitting bones. I noticed that my right sitting bone was clenched and I wasn't exactly on top of it. So I had to take a little bit more weight. So even though I'm here, if I think about my navel moving toward that right hip slightly and closing the rib cage on the left side, that makes a difference in how I feel that sitting bone. Rest that left forearm on top of the thigh and reach that right arm forward. Feel the space between the shoulder blades as you scoop at a diagonal. So I feel that stretch from the right heel through the fingertips. As best as I can, I hug those ribs in, back, and down to feel the weight on the right sitting bone. Breathe here. Come back to warrior two. Nice. And then slowly drop the arms down, bend both knees. Come a little bit wider here with your knees, and then you can scoop your arms up and forward fold or just forward fold from here. So it's a hip hinge. My hands eventually meet the ground if that feels good. If not, just keep them on your ankles. Just feel the hip hinge and the forward fold here. I'm just going to walk my hands forward and I feel a nice stretch my lower back. Yeah, very nice, everybody. Breathe in, breathe out. How did warrior two feel that way?
Cool.
Okay, good. Now we're going to slowly roll up. We're going to set up on the other side. So now this time the right leg is at a diagonal, my knee over my ankle. I can feel that scrubbing action. The left foot also moves at a diagonal. I'm feeling the sitting bone and my inner groin, inner knee, and heel are grounded, and I'm scrubbing outer heel to inner heel. That helped put me more on that left sitting bone. There's that line of energy. Scoop your arms up. Turn your palms up if that helped you. Feel those weights. Turn them down. Feel the triceps. Feel shh. I really had to exhale to feel that weight on my sitting bones. Feel both feet though as you scrub. Outer heel to inner heel, and then look over the fingertips on the right side, that middle finger. Move that navel toward that left hip to help you feel grounded. Breathe in, breathe out. Good. Rest that forearm on the thigh. Move that thigh away from the hip and reach that left arm forward. Free up the shoulder and feel that line of energy as you reach the diagonal. Breathe in, breathe out here. Yep. Feel the weight even. So not all my weight is just kind of collapsing here on that right thigh. I feel my navel to my left hip. That engaged the obliques on the right side. Did that help anybody?
Does.
Yeah, that helped me. Breathe in, breathe out. Back to warrior two. Use your breath. Look over those fingertips. I realized that my right knee was caving in. I had to scrub again to find the length of my inner groins and find my heels. And then slowly come back center. Good. Take a breath. Take another wide seated forward fold. If you want to go deeper, you can take your legs in front of you. I like to practice this a bit. And come forward here. Your inner knees lifted slightly up. That'll be a little bit more challenging than your feet on the ground. My toes were up, so you can try both ways, feel what feels good. But those inner knees lifted is really a key for that, so you're not pressing them both down. And when you're ready, slowly roll up,